people out here. Keep that in mind while you judging people. Keep that in mind while you judging people. As soon as you look at him, you judge him. You don't know if that man's employable or woman employable. You don't know. You don't know. But in a flash second, you ready to judge. I ain't giving him nothing. You snarling already. Money for a coffee. I need a coffee. I'm going to work and do something with the energy. Why you need a coffee? Some people talk junk like that. Why you need a coffee? You ain't doing nothing with the energy. That's what they'll tell you. Why you need a coffee? You ain't going nowhere. You gonna sit right down on the coffee. You should be trying to take in less beverages as possible. You ain't got nowhere to use the bathroom. It's some people that's very crass like that. And look, all homeless people are not innocent, right? I agree with that. I done had them steal from me. I'm still without an ID because of a homeless person. A homeless person stole my ID twice, both times pretty much out of my hands. I was on the streets. They reached over and got my whole bag. That's when I was over there in California, in San Francisco. And it was so cold at night on the streets. It was so cold, I didn't even want to reach up and pull my bag down. They still would have got it though. Oh no, I could have put my bag under my covers. But I was so cold at night, I just went back to sleep. That's how cold and sleepy, probably sleepy I was too. Woke up, the whole bag was gone. ID, social security card, everything in there. And that's just the habit of someone that is not usually sleeping on the streets. See, now I'm more of a veteran. First of all, I would have had my IDs on my person. I wouldn't have had it in my bag. But then you don't want it on your person because, especially the social security card, and so you just leave it in the bag for protection. And if somebody gets that, they get everything. So but at the end of the day, this is how I look at it. Because I'm not no thief. That's one thing I'm not. I'll hustle. I'll ask people for stuff. I'll hustle something I have rather than being a thief. I'm just not a thief. I'm just not a thief type person. I'm just not. I'd rather hustle. I'd rather find something to hustle and come up like that. It's a better feeling too. You hustle for what you want, even if it's from the streets as a homeless person. If you hustle and get whatever you want, it's a good feeling. People might not want you to feel that good feeling, but if you actually took the time to stand there and hustle in any form of fashion, you're going to feel good when you meet your goal. Because it was you to help you meet. It was you and only you. Unless you're with somebody. But, so I don't respect people that do that. Because at the end of the day, I would still have my stuff if people were not thieves. That's how I always feel. Whether I slipped or not. I feel like I would still have my belongings if they were not thieves. I done seen people slip. I done seen stuff slip, and I don't touch it because I put in mind, what if that was me? I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna say what I will and will not do if I see a diamond ring on the ground now. I mean, come on. I'm not going to leave a diamond ring for someone else to just come and scoop up and get. They're not going to get the diamond ring anyway. I'll pick it up, look both ways, see, maybe I might do that, and see if I see somebody. But when it comes to money on the ground or something like that, man, how will you know it's theirs? And even in the case of a ring, how would you really know that was their ring? You wouldn't know. They could lie. Yeah, that's mine. Some people are good. You found my dollars. You found my ring. See, that's mine. That makes it more real. See, that's mine. But you know, I feel great satisfaction when somebody finds something they lost. Cause I can't stand losing stuff. I find great satisfaction in somebody finding something they lost. Like, yo, I've lost it. Yo, thank you, yo. That's a gratifying feeling. It's a very good feeling. But when you know, like if you think like how I think, if you left something and you know it could still be there if there wasn't thieves in the world. I don't know if it's just being unrealistic or is it really? I don't know. That's not too much to ask. Not to touch something that doesn't belong to you. That's a different situation. It's like I would still have my belongings if people just left stuff as it was. But you know, America has to start taking care of its homeless people. Period. Like I said, there's always going to be unemployable homeless people. You know, always. And honestly, like I said, some people just straight out hate homeless people. They can't stand them. But I've become more complex as a human being. I'm not that type of person. I do believe there are drug addicts that are on the streets. They're not homeless. Homelessness is a byproduct of them being a drug addict. I don't judge, but that's not a bona fide homeless person. A bona fide homeless person is a person that doesn't have really any drug problems or vices really that would make them unemployable or like hard to live with. They just need a place to live. That's a bona fide homeless person that gets up in the morning, gets a meal, and looks for ways to wash themselves. They're bona fide. That's a bona fide homeless person. Now, somebody that's on the streets and you got your homelessness is a byproduct of your drug use, then you're not a homeless person. You're a drug addict that's homeless. Because you got to get to the root of the problem. They can go to a rehab. You can't really go to a rehab if you ain't really no drug addict. So they have options that a bona fide homeless person don't have. You could go to a rehab and get off the streets and not be homeless out here. The person that doesn't have any drug problems is going to go stir crazy trying to be in a rehab and they don't have any drug problems. Because they ain't going to let you leave, by the way, which is good to wean the person off drugs. So, that's my personal advice. You know what I'm saying? Is understand, understand who's who out there. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that drink. That's not a bad thing. Some people choose to be. Yeah, what I mean is, you can't say just because a person is having a drink that their drinking led them to homelessness. But drugs are different. It can get you killed. It can get you stuck out here like stranded because you stole from people. Now nobody wants to live with you or have you live with them. You have to know who's who. You know, but I don't know, man. I think Russia is a better country for black people. For because white people over here, you got it made. You can always say, and Americans love to say this. Well, you don't know how made you got it. You don't know how it is in other countries. For who though? That's what you need to ask. For who? Who are you talking about? It's better for who here? Yeah, you know, it's time to articulate what's really going on because white people can't articulate it. It's time to articulate it because they can't do it. Okay, it's going to be good for them. For non-white people, you can have all the money in the world and still get profiled over here and get hated over here for no apparent reason. That's not life goals for me. When I can go to an exotic island where I'm treated like a king, not like a prey, not like a rabbit, treated like royalty in these different places. For black people, I don't know about white people. I don't know how you get treated. But I would imagine that there's more respect for particularly Africans, African Americans, in particular different places outside of America. People know what I mean. You know what I mean when I say that. But here, it's an ongoing war zone. You got these crazy rednecks that ain't going nowhere. You got all kind of different racial societies that you are not even aware of that's around you. You don't know how many there are. You can't be arrogant enough to say it. All you know is it's good for white people for the most part. And it's not really good for black people for the most part. Okay? When you can get shot at any given time by police and stuff like that, it's not good. And that's relevant. That's relevant. That's pretty relevant. I don't know, man. So the next time white people say, or Americans say, yeah, you might have to straighten your own sometimes. Because sometimes they're ignorant. They don't know any better. You don't know how good you got it here. You could go to Africa and be better. You could go to these islands in the South Pacific and be better. Indonesia, Malaysia, some of these different, Hawaii, not Hawaii, what's the one I was thinking about? What I was thinking about? The Philippines. Yeah. You got all these different islands you could go to. Particularly you as a black man or a black woman. Now, I don't know about what white people how they'd be treated. But I know how I can imagine how they would treat me if I was there. Versus you don't know what black people are sellouts here in America. They're just undercover agents working for the racist people. I don't trust, I keep it 100. I don't trust black people like I used to. Because no, you can't. I'm saying, yeah, you can't. So if it's not the white man I got to deal with, it's the black man I got to deal with, or the black woman I got to deal with. The black man has enemies on all sides. Half of this stuff, when you boil it down, ain't nothing but race wars. Because they wouldn't be doing this if it was a white person. Boom. You wouldn't be doing this if it was a Native American person. Boom. So it's a race war. Call it what it is. Undercover race war. That's how I look at it. Because it doesn't matter what's going on. If it's certain races, they're not going to go through it here in America. An Indian man from India, he's probably not going to have a lot of enemies. I'm just being honest. And no one's going to feel the need to antagonize him. Anybody feel the need to antagonize an Indian man? For no apparent reason. You don't know him. He don't know you. So it's a race war. That's all it is. Yes, it is. I don't care what people say. They can say, well, we heard this or that. No. If you seen nothing from an Indian man from India, you seen nothing, then you would fall back and fall away. That's real. You see someone from the Philippines. You see no reason to mess with this person. You see no reason to antagonize this person. Most likely, most people in America aren't going to do it. But with the black man, you already have all these stereotypes in your mind, and you think he's like you. And if you're ignorant, and so you despise him because you think he's ignorant. Find out he's not. More intelligent, educated, well-mannered, more well-mannered than you are. So all in all, it's a lot of black people that don't like each other because you both think you're ignorant. Yeah, it's true. You both think that you're ignorant. You think he's like you. So that gives you the momentum to pursue and hunt and play with this person. That's what it is. In other words, you think he's like the average person from your community, and he probably is not. Because I know I'm not the average person from the black community. I'm just being honest. By principle, perspective, thought process, but people are not going to see you that way. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. America is going to basically gauge you on the average thing they see lately, not 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They're going to most likely stereotype you, even other black people, based on what they have seen lately. And it's getting crazier and crazier. And that's why in the last days, here in America, Africans don't get along. Because you got Jamaicans, and Jamaicans really, all of them don't really mess with African Americans like that. You may think so. White people may not know, but they don't. They kind of stay to themselves for the most part. For the most part, with family. And African Americans in general just don't get along with each other. You know, to me, it's good versus evil, though. That's what it really is among African Americans. Pay attention. Whether it's street people or not, homeless people or not, thugs or not, gangsters or not, it's always good versus evil. That's what it is to me. And so I'm not that type of person that just walks around trusting anybody. I'll talk to you. But if you notice, at the end of the day, I'm not really manipulated. Not really. So how do I lose? Because I've been homeless. For me to be in a room like this for months, it ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'm solid. You can't break somebody like me. I'm solid, man. Once you've been on the streets substantially, you're solid. So yeah, it's all fun and games until it's time to pay the piper. When it's time to pay the piper, everybody want to make excuses. But we all pay our dues out here. You know, I almost died myself. Yeah, I almost died. Yeah. And when you have that awareness, um, you don't take much from anybody. You know, when you've almost died in your life, you come to that point, I don't take much. I don't have much understanding. Well, I mean I do have understanding, but I don't have much tolerance for foolishness. You know, you play with somebody that's almost died, then the person's gonna run over you without any like don't care. So people that play games, hey, you get what you get what you ask for. People that play games in this country, play games with people's lives, hey, you got what you asked for. I don't know what you thought. What you thought you was gonna get? What you thought you was gonna get? A Happy Meal? Can't be serious. You thought you was gonna have good things happen to you, doing things the wrong way and evil. It doesn't work like that in the universe, partner. Now you know.